Imagine waking up, completely alone, no family, no friends, no tribe, just you, a wooden spear, and a world where almost everything wants to eat you. How long would you survive? 1 week? 3 days? Maybe not even until tomorrow morning. Today, living alone can feel peaceful. You can order food with your phone, lock your door, sleep safely through the night. But 30,000 years ago, being alone wasn't freedom. It was almost a death sentence. Ancient humans didn't become Earth's most successful species because they were the strongest, or the fastest, or the biggest. They survived because they discovered something far more powerful: each other. But why? Why did nearly every ancient human live in a group? And what secret did they uncover that still shapes your life today? Let's travel back to a cold morning, 30,000 years ago. The sun hasn't risen yet. A cold wind blows across the valley. Our stickman hunter quietly steps out of his cave, in one hand, a wooden spear, in the other, nothing. No backup, no friends, no one waiting nearby. For the first time in his life, he has decided to survive alone. At first, it feels exciting. No arguments, no sharing food, no rules. Everything he catches will belong to him. He smiles confidently. How hard could it be? He walks into the forest. Birds sing above him, leaves crunch beneath his feet. The world seems calm, peaceful, almost beautiful, but appearances can be dangerous. Hours pass. He searches for berries. He finds only a few. He looks for fresh animal tracks. Nothing. He checks the river for fish. The water is empty. His stomach begins to growl. The excitement slowly disappears. By afternoon, his legs are tired, his shoulders ache, his water pouch is almost empty. Still, no food. Then, he finally sees movement, a deer, standing quietly between the trees. His heart races. He grips his spear tightly. This is his chance. He takes one careful step, then another. He raises the spear and throws. The spear misses. The deer explodes into motion, disappearing into the forest within seconds. Silence. The hunter stands frozen. One mistake, and his only opportunity is gone. If he had hunted with a tribe, others might have surrounded the animal. Someone else might have made the successful throw. But alone, one mistake means complete failure. The sun begins to disappear behind the mountains. The temperature drops quickly. He hasn't eaten all day. He hasn't spoken to another human. For the first time, the forest doesn't feel peaceful anymore. Every sound feels louder. A branch snaps somewhere behind him. He spins around. Nothing. A distant howl echoes across the valley, then another and another. Wolves. He suddenly realizes something terrifying. If a pack attacks tonight, no one will hear him scream. No one will fight beside him. No one will carry him home if he's injured. For the first time, he understands something every ancient human eventually learned. Nature is powerful, but surviving it alone is almost impossible. As darkness covers the land, he builds a tiny fire. The flames flicker. They keep him warm, but they cannot remove the fear. He stares into the darkness, wondering if the glowing eyes beyond the trees are getting closer. The next morning, our lonely hunter is still alive. Barely. His small fire has burned out. The cold has made his muscles stiff. His stomach is completely empty. He hasn't eaten in almost 2 days, but hunger gives him no choice. He must hunt again. As the morning fog slowly lifts, he notices something moving across the valley. A herd of giant deer. Not one, not two, almost 20. Food, enough to feed him for weeks. He grips his spear and smiles. This time, he thinks, I won't miss. Slowly, he moves closer. The wind is in his favor. The animals haven't noticed him. Everything seems perfect. He chooses the largest deer, takes a deep breath, raises his spear, and throws. The spear strikes the animal's shoulder. The deer cries out. Then the impossible happens. The entire herd explodes into motion. Dozens of powerful legs thunder across the valley. Within seconds, every animal disappears. The wounded deer escapes with the others. The hunter runs after them, faster, faster. But no human can outrun a healthy deer. Minutes later, the valley is silent again. Another failed hunt. He falls to his knees, breathing heavily. One person, one spear, one chance. It simply isn't enough. Now imagine the exact same hunt, but this time, 10 hunters work together. One group quietly circles behind the herd. Another waits near the river. Others hide among the rocks. Nobody attacks too early. Everyone waits. Then, one signal. The hunters shout. The deer panic. Instead of escaping in one direction, the herd runs exactly where another group is waiting. Spears fly from every side. The animals become confused. Within moments, the hunt is over. One successful hunt now feeds dozens of people. Children eat, parents eat, grandparents eat. Food is dried for winter. Bones become tools. Skins become clothing. Because no one hunted alone, the greatest weapon ancient humans ever invented wasn't the spear. It wasn't fire. It was teamwork. Scientists believe this changed everything. Humans weren't the strongest predators. Lions were stronger, wolves were faster, bears were more powerful. But humans had something no other predator mastered quite the same way: cooperation. A single hunter could fail. 10 hunters working together could bring down animals many times their own size, even enormous prey that no individual could ever defeat alone. Every successful hunt required trust, timing, communication, patience, and courage. If even one hunter panicked too early, the entire hunt could fail. Everyone depended on everyone else. That dependence slowly changed the human mind. People learned to watch each other, help each other, protect each other. Success was no longer about one hero, it was about the whole tribe. Our lonely hunter doesn't know any of this. He only knows one thing: he's hungry. As evening approaches, dark clouds roll across the sky. Rain begins to fall. His clothes become soaked. His hands shake from the cold. He finally finds a small rabbit hiding beneath a bush. He quietly creeps forward. Almost close enough. The rabbit suddenly darts away. Gone. Again. He laughs. Not because it's funny, but because he finally realizes the truth. Nature doesn't care how brave you are. It only rewards those who are prepared, and no ancient human could prepare for everything alone. As the storm grows stronger, he looks across the valley, far away. He sees something glowing, a campfire, a tribe, tiny figures sitting together, cooking, talking, laughing, sharing food. For the first time, he doesn't see strangers. He sees survival, because the greatest discovery ancient humans ever made was never fire. It was each other. The storm finally passes. Our lonely hunter survives the night, but only just. His body is exhausted. His stomach is empty. His hands are shaking. As the first rays of sunlight appear, he looks once more toward the distant campfire. This time, instead of walking away, he walks toward it, slowly, carefully. As he gets closer, he begins to notice something surprising. Nobody in the tribe is working alone. One group is collecting firewood, another is preparing breakfast. Several hunters are repairing their spears. Children are laughing while playing near the fire. Older members of the tribe sit nearby, watching everything carefully. At first glance, it almost looks ordinary. But every person has a purpose. Every task helps someone else survive. Imagine trying to do all of that by yourself. Find food, collect water, gather firewood, build a shelter, watch for predators, protect your children, care for the sick, repair your weapons, cook your meals, stay warm, stay awake, every single day. One person simply doesn't have enough time, but a tribe does. When everyone shares the work, everyone has a better chance of surviving. Our hunter watches as one woman returns carrying edible roots. Another group arrives with berries. Two hunters bring back fish from the river. No one says, "This is mine." Instead, the food is placed together. One shared meal, one shared future. Not because they were always generous, but because they understood something modern science now agrees with: sharing reduced risk. One hunter might fail, another might succeed. If everyone shared, nobody had to face starvation alone. Today, we might call it teamwork. For ancient humans, it was survival insurance, but food wasn't the tribe's only strength. Knowledge was just as valuable. Near the fire, an elderly woman notices a young hunter tying his spear incorrectly. She smiles, unties it, then patiently shows him a stronger knot. That simple lesson may save his life one day. Across the camp, a grandfather teaches children how to recognize dangerous animal tracks. Nearby, another elder points toward dark clouds. Rain is coming. The children listen carefully. Because experience cannot be hunted, it must be shared. Ancient humans didn't have books, they didn't have schools. The tribe was their classroom. Every story told beside the fire, every mistake remembered, every successful hunt became knowledge passed to the next generation. Without elders, that knowledge disappeared. Without children, the future disappeared. Every generation depended on the one before it. Then something unexpected happens. A hunter limps into the camp. His leg is injured. He cannot hunt. If he were alone, this injury could mean death. But nobody abandons him. Some gather herbs, others bring water, someone prepares food. The injured hunter rests beside the fire. Days later, his strength slowly returns. He survives. Not because he was the strongest, but because someone else helped him. This simple act of caring changed human history. Unlike many predators, humans could survive serious injuries because the group refused to leave them behind. That meant experienced hunters, wise elders, and skilled toolmakers lived much longer, and every extra year meant more knowledge for the tribe. As evening falls, everyone gathers around the fire. Children listen with wide eyes. Hunters describe today's adventure. The elders laugh, the parents smile. For a few peaceful moments, nobody is worried about tomorrow. They are together, safe, warm, fed. Our lonely hunter watches from a distance. Only now does he understand what he was missing. A tribe isn't just a group of people. It's many hands carrying one future. It's many eyes watching for danger, many voices sharing knowledge, many hearts protecting one another. That night, as he quietly joins the circle around the fire, he feels something stronger than relief. He feels like he belongs, and perhaps that feeling became one of humanity's greatest survival tools, because long before cities, long before kingdoms, long before civilization, there was the tribe, and without the tribe, there might never have been us. The next morning, our hunter wakes beside the tribe's fire. For the first time in days, he feels safe. His stomach is full. His body is warm. But one question still lingers in his mind. Was living alone really that dangerous? The answer arrives sooner than he expects. Several hunters leave camp before sunrise. Our hunter joins them. They move silently through the forest. Everything seems normal. Birds sing. The wind gently shakes the trees. Then, one hunter slips. His foot lands between two rocks. A loud crack echoes through the valley. He falls to the ground. His ankle is badly injured. He can't stand. He can't walk. 30,000 years ago. This wasn't just an injury. It could become a death sentence. Imagine if he were alone. He couldn't hunt. He couldn't carry water. He couldn't collect firewood. He couldn't escape predators. Even reaching the nearest river might take hours. Every simple task would suddenly become impossible. But he isn't alone. Without saying a word, two hunters lift him to his feet. Another carries his spear. Someone else gathers fresh water. The group immediately changes direction. The hunt is over. Their friend's life matters more than today's meal. Together, they slowly return to camp. Back at the cave, the tribe quickly gets to work. One person heats water over the fire. Another prepares medicinal plants. An experienced elder carefully wraps the injured ankle. Children gather extra firewood. Hunters offer part of their food. Nobody complains. Nobody says, "He's your problem." Because everyone understands a simple truth. Today, he needs help. Tomorrow, it might be someone else. That single idea made ancient human communities incredibly strong. Days pass. The injured hunter cannot hunt. Yet every evening, someone places food beside him. Someone checks his bandage. Someone keeps the fire burning through the cold night. Eventually, he stands again. Weeks later, he returns to hunting. If he had lived alone, he probably would have died. Instead, the tribe turned a tragedy into a recovery. But injuries weren't the only danger. Night itself was an enemy. When darkness covered the land, the forest changed completely. The sounds became louder. The shadows became deeper. Eyes reflected in the darkness. Predators began to move. Wolves hunted in packs. Large cats waited silently. Bears searched for easy meals. One sleeping person was an easy target. A tribe was not. While some people slept, others stayed awake. The fire never went out. Someone always listened. Someone always watched. The camp never became completely defenseless. The tribe had created something extraordinary, a 24-hour survival system. Even while sleeping, someone protected you. Danger also came from places people couldn't see: a deep cut, a broken bone, an infected wound, even a fever. Today, a small injury often means a visit to a doctor. Ancient humans had no hospitals, no antibiotics, no emergency rooms. Their greatest medicine was each other. Someone brought water, someone found healing plants, someone kept dangerous animals away, someone simply stayed beside the injured person. Sometimes, that care was enough to save a life. Our hunter begins to notice something else. The strongest member of the tribe isn't always the leader. Sometimes it's the oldest woman, because she remembers where water can still be found during a drought. Sometimes it's the quiet hunter, because he knows animal behavior better than anyone else. Sometimes it's the mother caring for children, because she protects the tribe's future. Every person has value. Every skill matters. Strength alone never built humanity. Different people, working together, did. That evening, as everyone gathers around the fire, our hunter looks around the circle, children laughing, hunters repairing weapons, elders telling stories, parents preparing tomorrow's journey. He finally understands something that had taken thousands of generations to discover. A tribe wasn't just protection, it was knowledge, it was medicine, it was food, it was hope. Most importantly, it gave every individual something they could never create alone: a second chance. And perhaps that was the greatest survival advantage humans ever evolved. The fire burns quietly. The tribe has finished eating. Children have fallen asleep. The hunters sit together, looking up at the stars. Our hunter watches the people around him. Only a few days ago, he believed strength meant independence. Now, he understands something completely different. The strongest human was never the one who stood alone. It was the one who stood with others. Think about this. Thousands of years ago, humans weren't the fastest animals. A horse could outrun them. They weren't the strongest. A bear could overpower them. They weren't the biggest. An elephant towered above them. They didn't have claws. They didn't have sharp teeth. They couldn't fly. They couldn't smell danger from miles away. So, how did humans eventually spread across every continent on Earth? How did such a physically ordinary species become extraordinary? The answer wasn't hidden in stronger muscles, it was hidden in stronger relationships. A single person could only remember so much, but a tribe remembered everything: where the rivers flowed, which plants healed wounds, which berries were poisonous, when the animals migrated, where winter shelters could be found. Every generation added new knowledge, every generation passed it on. Knowledge became humanity's greatest inheritance, and no one had to start from the beginning. Imagine if every child had to rediscover fire, learn hunting alone, figure out which foods were safe. Human progress would have stopped. Instead, parents taught children, children became adults, adults became elders, elders became teachers. Each generation stood on the shoulders of the last. That's how humans move forward, not alone, together. Cooperation didn't just improve survival, it created trust. When hunters shared food, people remembered. When someone protected a child, people remembered. When someone helped the sick recover, people remembered. Those small acts built something invisible: community, and community became stronger than any spear. Scientists believe that as humans evolved, our brains adapted to life in groups. We became experts at recognizing faces, understanding emotions, working together, sharing ideas, building friendships. Even today, your brain rewards social connection when you laugh with friends, celebrate with family, or help someone in need. Ancient survival systems inside your brain become active because for most of human history, being accepted by your group wasn't just emotionally important, it often meant staying alive. Look around your own life, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers, your closest friends. It may feel like modern life has little in common with the Stone Age, but think again. When disaster strikes, people come together. When someone is injured, others help. When families celebrate, they gather around food. When children are born, communities support them. The world has changed, but human nature hasn't changed nearly as much. Deep inside, we're still a tribal species. As dawn breaks, our hunter prepares to leave, not to live alone again, but to hunt beside his tribe. He picks up his spear. This time, others walk beside him. No one is left behind. No one faces danger alone. They disappear into the forest together. Not because they are fearless, but because together, fear becomes easier to face. Perhaps that's the greatest lesson our ancestors ever taught us. Civilization wasn't built by the strongest individual, it was built by millions of ordinary people, helping one another, generation after generation. The cities we live in, the languages we speak, the technology we use. All began with one simple decision made thousands of years ago: to stand together instead of standing alone. So the next time you enjoy dinner with your family, laugh with your friends, or receive help from someone you trust, remember this. Those moments aren't just part of modern life. They're echoes of an ancient survival strategy, one that carried humanity through ice ages, predators, hunger, disease, and countless challenges. Without it, our species might never have survived. The greatest human invention was never the wheel. It wasn't farming. It wasn't writing. It was cooperation. And that ancient secret still lives inside every one of us. Ending. Call to action. If you enjoyed this journey into the lives of our ancient ancestors, subscribe for more fascinating documentaries about human evolution, prehistoric survival, and the hidden stories that shaped our world. Because in the next episode, we'll uncover another ancient mystery, one that's still influencing your life today. Until then, stay curious. And remember, the reason humanity survived was never one human,